The Nanny once brought audiences to tears of laughter with outrageous situations between a quirky nanny and Manhattan's high society. But behind that spotlight lay lives gradually buried under the weight of time and tragedy. Accidents, illness, addiction. Some familiar faces departed quietly, leaving behind grief and an irreplaceable void. Who among them has left us forever? Let's uncover their names and the mysterious stories behind the scenes. Let's dive in. Elizabeth Taylor is herself. Elizabeth Taylor was born on February 27, 1932 in London, England. When she appeared in The Nanny in 1996 at the age of 64, she played herself, exuding elegance and unmistakable presence. But behind her fame was a quiet series of tragedies that lasted from her youth until the end of her life. 8 marriages, including 2 to Richard Burton, kept her private life under constant public scrutiny. Her first husband, Conrad Hilton Jr., was an alcoholic and abusive man who caused Taylor to miscarry after a fit of rage. Her third husband, Mike Todd, died in a plane crash just a year after their wedding, leaving her devastated and pushing her into a contentious relationship with her husband's best friend, Eddie Fisher. That marriage also ended in tears when she met Richard Burton on the set of Cleopatra. Their explosive love affair was both passionate and devastating, marked by alcoholism, materialism, and violent public fights. Her final marriage, to construction worker Larry Fortensky, began in rehab and ended in silence. But Taylor continued to care for him until his death, a testament to a heart that never stopped loving. Taylor died on March 23, 2011, in Los Angeles of congestive heart failure at the age of 79. In her later years, she struggled with a myriad of health problems, including chronic back pain, prescription drug addiction, brain tumor surgery, skin cancer, and severe pneumonia, all of which were the result of a childhood horseback riding accident and years of lavish living. Her funeral was held privately at Forest Lawn, where she requested it begin 15 minutes later. Because even if I die, I want to be late. Elizabeth Taylor's net worth is estimated at $600 million, coming from her legendary acting career, her perfume empire, and one of the world's most valuable private diamond collections. Meline Zema as Grace Sheffield. Meline Zema was born on September 16, 1985 in New Haven, Connecticut. At just 8 years old, she became a familiar face to television audiences as Grace Sheffield, the intelligent, introspective, and somewhat eccentric youngest daughter in the sitcom The Nanny, 1993-1999. As the youngest actress in the main cast, Zema quickly demonstrated a sharp acting style, mature beyond her age, winning the hearts of millions of fans around the world. But real life is not as warm as the sitcom stage. Starting her career at the age of 2, Zema has largely grown up in front of the camera, a journey filled with pressure and darkness. In rare interviews, she has revealed that she felt constrained by her child star image and struggled to transition into more mature roles. In Californication, she shocked audiences with her bold, sexy scenes and aggressive personality. A deliberate move to break Grace Sheffield's sweet public image. Later roles in Heroes, The Vampire Diaries, and Doom Patrol continued to portray a mature, complex and assertive Zema. But there always seemed to be something weary and cautious in her eyes when facing the spotlight. As of 2025, Meline Zema is 39 years old, a sobering age for a woman who rose to fame so early. Her net worth is currently estimated at $5 million, a modest figure for someone who has been acting for 3 decades, but one that reflects her choice to balance her career and personal life. Ray Charles as Sammy. Ray Charles was born on September 23, 1930, in Albany, Georgia. When he appeared on The Nanny in 1997 at the age of 67, he played Sammy, a charming guest character who brought laughter and emotion through music in a special episode. Although his appearance was brief, the role portrayed the real-life journey of Charles, an extraordinary artist who overcame adversity to write a new chapter in the history of world music. Charles lost his sight completely at the age of 7, following the tragic death of his younger brother George, an event that he carried with him as a silent wound throughout his life. Then his mother died when he was only 14, leaving him a blind, orphaned, and impoverished boy who relied on the kindness of those around him. Music was the only place he found meaning in himself, but it also dragged him into a spiral of despair. He began using heroin at age 16 and was addicted for 17 years, being arrested several times for possession. Although he was finally cleared of heroin in 1965 after being arrested at the Boston airport, his inner battle never really ended. Charles has admitted that in addition to drugs, he was addicted to women, and that his addiction devastated his marriage as much as his heroin addiction. Charles had 2 marriages during his life. His second wife, Della B. Robinson, was with him for 22 years and bore him 3 children, but their life together was full of voids. He toured constantly, cheated publicly, and left her to suffer the consequences of his addiction and fame alone. That marriage ended in 1977. In addition to his 2 wives, Charles had at least 10 other relationships and fathered 12 children with 10 different women. He once said, "Women, heroin and music, 3 things I can't give up." Family was a vague and contradictory concept for him, but before his death, he tried to mend the relationship by inviting all his children to a reunion in 2002 and dividing his assets among them through individual trusts. On June 10, 2004, Ray Charles died at his Beverly Hills home from complications from liver disease at the age of 73. His funeral was one of the most lavish in music history, attended by legends such as Stevie Wonder, B.B. King, and Wynton Marsalis. 2 months later, his final album, Genius Loves Company, was released, winning 8 Grammy Awards and a final testament to his undiminished greatness. At the time of Ray Charles's death, his net worth was estimated at $75 million, primarily from music royalties and recording contracts. Spalding Gray as Dr. Jack Miller. Spalding Gray was born on June 5, 1941, in Barrington, Rhode Island. In 1997, at the age of 56, he appeared on The Nanny as Dr. Jack Miller, an eccentric, awkward, but charming psychologist. Although he only appeared in a few episodes, his image, glasses, distant gaze, and characteristic way of speaking left a deep impression. Off-screen, Gray has faced the same inner turmoil that his characters often face. He was a mainstay of the American stand-up scene, most famously for his play Swimming to Cambodia, in which he bared his soul as he discussed his mother's death, sex, war, and existential confusion. But behind the spotlight was a deeply wounded soul. In 2001, Gray was in a serious car accident in Ireland that left him with a broken hip and a traumatic brain injury. A titanium plate implanted in his skull failed to stop his mental health from deteriorating. The scar on his forehead became a symbol of the pain he carried. From then on, he fell into depression, confusion, and obsession. He tried to rewrite, reenact, convince himself with old stories, but each page only deepened his despair. Despite his wife, children, and loyal audience, Gray still felt like an outsider, a storyteller who no longer wanted to exist in his own story. On the evening of January 11, 2004, after taking his children to see Big Fish, a movie that ends with this line, "A man tells his story so many times that he becomes the story. They live that way, and he becomes immortal." Gray disappeared shortly thereafter. Nearly 2 months later, his body was found floating in the East River. He was 62 years old, and his death was ruled a suicide, believed to have been from jumping off the Staten Island ferry. Many believe he chose to end his life as part of his final performance. He leaves behind a wife, 3 children, and a legacy of theatrical personality. Spalding Gray's net worth is estimated at $1 million, a modest number compared to the influence he left behind, but enough to engrave his life in memory. Fran Dresser as Fran Fine. Fran Dresser was born on September 30, 1957 in Queens, New York. When she landed the role of Fran Fine on The Nanny in 1993 at the age of 36, she was not only a leading lady known for her distinctive voice and bold fashion sense, but also a co-creator, writer, and producer of the series. Fran Fine quickly became a comedy icon of the 1990s, imbued with Dresser's personality and past. But behind that bright smile was a series of harsh events that made her feel like she would never get back up again. In 1985, Dresser's life turned into a nightmare when 2 armed intruders broke into her home, while her husband, Peter Mark Jacobson, was tied up and forced to watch. She and a female friend were raped at gunpoint. The attack left her with deep psychological trauma, and it took her years to speak out, and even longer to turn that pain into strength. Her marriage to Jacobson later fell apart when it was painfully revealed that he was gay. They divorced in 1999 after more than 20 years together, had no children, but remained close friends. Dresser once said, "We chose to love each other in a different way. No labels, just kindness, understanding, and no abandonment. It was a rare love that overcame separation. Painful, but still beautiful." In 2000, she faced death again when she was diagnosed with uterine cancer after 2 years of misdiagnosis. The hysterectomy not only saved her life, but also sparked a new mission. Writing the book Cancer Schmancer, founding an awareness foundation, and advocating for women to listen to their bodies. Today, at 67, Dresser serves as president of SAG-AFTRA, leading thousands of artists in the historic 2023 strike, showing that her fighting spirit has never waned. Fran Dresser's net worth is currently estimated at $25 million, but her true worth lies in having overcome violence, illness, and loss, and still knowing how to make the world laugh. Charles Shaughnessy as Maxwell Sheffield. Charles George Patrick Shaughnessy was born on February 9, 1955 in London, England. He was 38 when he played Maxwell Sheffield, a charming, wealthy, widowed Broadway producer on the hit sitcom The Nanny, 1993-1999. Maxwell was not only a comedic counterpoint to Fran Fine, but also represented modern aristocracy with an emotional rigidity that added depth. The role made Charles a familiar face on American television and earned him worldwide admiration. But behind his calm demeanor and his lofty title of 5th Baron Shaughnessy in 2007, Charles faced considerable personal pressure. Moving from Britain to America to build his career was not easy. He has said that he felt isolated in Hollywood and was often stereotyped as an aristocratic actor, unsuited to American roles. Although his acting career has remained stable, he has rarely been out of Maxwell's shadow. In his personal life, he has been married to actress Susan Philander since 1983, a rarity in the entertainment industry. But this stability has also put him in a secondary role in both his personal and professional lives, as the spotlight is often elsewhere. By 2025, Charles Shaughnessy was 70 years old. He continued to act in television projects like General Hospital, voice over cartoons, and develop a media company with his brother. While he never reached the heights of Hollywood stardom, he maintained a reputation for professionalism and reliability. These qualities have helped him build an estimated net worth of $3 million. Anne Morgan Gilbert as Yetta Rosenberg. Anne Morgan Gilbert was born on October 16, 1928 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. She was 65 when she joined The Nanny in 1993, playing Yetta Rosenberg, Fran Fine's eccentric, forgetful, cigar-smoking grandmother. With her witty yet charming personality, Yetta became a beloved comedy icon. But behind that cheerful image was a woman who had experienced many ups and downs in both her personal and professional life. Gilbert entered the entertainment industry in the 1950s as a singer before becoming a television star on The Dick Van Dyke Show. She was a star on stage, but her personal life was filled with challenges. Her first marriage to screenwriter George Eckstein ended after 15 years, leaving her to raise her 2 daughters alone while maintaining a cheerful on-screen image. A second marriage to actor Guy Raymond brought her some peace, but ended with his death in 1997. She was broken-hearted twice, while her career, which spanned more than 5 decades, failed to catapult her to A-list status. In her final years, she continued to work tirelessly on television dramas while quietly battling cancer. She died on June 14, 2016 in Los Angeles at the age of 87. Anne Morgan Gilbert's net worth at the time of her death was estimated at $2 million, the result of more than half a century of dedication to American television. Rachel Chagal as Val Torriello. Rachel Chagal was born on November 24, 1952, in New York City. In 1993, at the age of 41, she took on the role of Val Torriello, Fran Fine's clumsy, naive, but sincere best friend, on the hit sitcom The Nanny. This role not only endeared her to audiences with her witty and hilarious lines, but also marked Rachel's strong comeback after years of struggling with her health. In a bitter twist of fate, Rachel herself almost lost the ability to walk. In 1982, she was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare autoimmune disorder that paralyzes the nervous system. For a time, she was confined to a wheelchair, unable to walk, and her career seemed over before it had even begun. But with extraordinary determination, Chagal not only recovered but also gave a brilliant performance as Gabby in the play The Raging Bull and the Butterfly, an inspiring character who seemed to be telling her own life story. Although she later only took on sporadic roles in films such as White Palace, The Last Supper, and a few guest appearances on television, she continued to win the hearts of audiences with her charming and warm acting style. As of 2025, Rachel Chagal is 73 years old and lives a quiet life with her husband, director Greg Leonard, and twin children Eve and Jonah. Interestingly, a nanny named Fran found the twins identical to Chagal's real-life children. Although she has long since left Hollywood, she is still remembered as a quiet icon. A woman who fought paralysis and overcame pain to inspire through her smile and innocent eyes.
Val.
Her net worth is estimated at $1 million, a modest figure, but fully reflects her resilient and sincere journey. Daniel Davis as Niles. Daniel Davis was born on November 26, 1945 in Gurdon, Arkansas, United States. He was 48 when he played Niles, the sharp, sarcastic but endearing butler in the sitcom The Nanny, 1993-1999. With his perfect British accent that even international audiences were amazed by, Davis turned a supporting role into an icon, leading many to believe he was actually a gentleman from across the Atlantic. Behind the glamour, however, was a man who struggled with a career that was still teetering on the brink of fame. Coming from a family of projectionists, Davis was exposed to the arts from a young age, but his path to the craft was one of quiet perseverance. Despite being nominated for a Tony and receiving an Obie, he rarely landed leading roles in major productions. He has admitted that he was both proud and frustrated that Niles's fame did not propel his career to the next level. Devoted to the stage, Davis often struggled to maintain financial stability in an industry that rarely favored those who did not pursue commercial fame. By 2025, Daniel Davis would be 79 years old. He lived a quiet life, rarely making public appearances, except for occasional returns to Broadway or voiceover work in the Star Trek universe. His net worth is estimated at $2 million, not a large sum by American television standards, but enough to reflect the solid and artistic career of a man who has always stayed true to his passion. Lauren Lane as Cece Babcock. Lauren Lane was born on February 2, 1961 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, United States. She was 32 when she played Cece Babcock, the arrogant, cold business partner who made no secret of her romantic ambitions for Maxwell Sheffield on the hit sitcom The Nanny. From 1993 to 1999, with her elegant looks, sharp voice, and calculating expressions, Lane made her character both annoying and irresistible every time she appeared on screen. Behind the television spotlight, Lauren Lane went through an extremely overwhelming chapter in her personal life. After leaving Hollywood, she married businessman David Wilkins and had a daughter, Kate, at 37, a move that many have called both belated and courageous. But the marriage did not last. In 2009, she quietly divorced, balancing her life as a single mother, a teacher, and an actress trying to stay relevant in Austin's contemporary theater scene has been a long journey, with roles in plays like August, Osage County, and Becky's New Car proving that she has never given up on the arts, even as the Hollywood spotlight has long since faded. At 64, Lauren Lane leads a modest but resilient life at Texas State University, where she is a professor and inspiration to younger generations. Few people know that even decades after leaving the screen, Lane continues to appear in high-quality theater productions, still as sharp as she was when she first started, though she now works more behind the scenes than in the spotlight. Her net worth is estimated at $2 million, enough to prove the solid strength of a woman who once played the role of a helpless third party on screen, but in real life is a mother, an artist, and a teacher. Nicole Tom Chongvai Maggie Sheffield. Nicole Tom was born on March 23, 1978 in Hinsdale, Illinois, USA. She was only 15 years old when she played Maggie Sheffield, the shy but intelligent and lovable eldest daughter of Maxwell Sheffield, on the beloved sitcom The Nanny. From 1993 to 1999, this role not only made Nicole a familiar face to millions of television viewers, but also paved the way for countless opportunities later. Things seemed easy for Nicole, but behind the spotlight was a bumpy ride. At the age of 8, Nicole moved with her mother and 2 siblings to Los Angeles to pursue castings, while her father remained in Seattle, leading to a quick divorce. Nicole's childhood was divided between early fame and a broken home. She entered adolescence not only with the pressure of acting, but also the burden of growing up in a showbiz family, where there was quiet competition and comparison between 3 siblings, all of whom pursued acting careers. Although she dated magician Justin Willman for more than 3 years, the relationship ended without leaving a lasting impression. Now, at 47, Nicole Tom continues to work quietly in the arts, participating in television projects and voiceovers. With an estimated net worth of around $2 million, mostly from television and animation roles, Nicole Tom may no longer be the brightest name in entertainment, but she remains one of the few who has maintained her charm and kindness in a volatile industry. Benjamin Salsbury as Brighton Sheffield. Benjamin David Salsbury was born on October 19, 1980 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He was just 13 when he played Brighton Sheffield, the mischievous but intelligent son in the hit comedy The Nanny. From 1993 to 1999, with his charming comedic style and youthful energy, Salsbury quickly became a beloved face on television throughout the 1990s. However, the teen star's aura did not last long. After The Nanny ended, Salsbury largely retired from the entertainment industry. He attended American University and even interned for Democratic House leader Richard Gephardt, a bold decision that reflected a clear and intentional change of direction. Salsbury's married life began in 2006 when he married Kelly Murkey, and they have 3 children together. However, rumors of a quiet divorce circulated, as both disappeared from public view after 2013. While the former co-stars reunited at major events, Salsbury chose to live a private life. Not appearing in public for more than a decade, he only made brief appearances on television, such as in Numb Thurs, and once humorously won $1 on Teen Celebrity Jeopardy! A victory that was both ironic and bittersweet. Much like his career path, as of 2025, Benjamin Salsbury is 44 years old. He currently works as the general manager at Universal Studios Hollywood, a behind-the-scenes role that is a stark contrast to his previous life in front of the camera. His net worth is estimated at $5 million. largely from his years of acting and his current stable off-screen career. No longer the funny guy on TV, Salsbury now lives a quiet life away from the spotlight. But perhaps he feels more at peace with the path he has chosen.